There was no pain, but there was something odd about the way she was standing. There was something off about where she was standing, too. She looked down at the white fluffy stuff billowing around her ankles. It was like white cotton candy. No, like a cloud. She was sort of leaning to one side as if her body had forgotten how to stand up straight. Kat tried to take a step, and the top half of her body flopped over, but then righted itself before she could fall on her face. There was someone standing in front of her, an elderly lady, so thin that her hospital gown looked as if it hung over a mop. The lady turned to face her, and she gasped. Kind of. She couldn't detect that any air had entered her lungs, but she had no sensation of struggling to breathe. The poor woman had dark circles under her eyes, and her cheekbones were sharp points, threatening to pierce through her skin. "What, you never saw a dying old lady before? You don't look so hot yourself, missy," the old lady said. "You look like a third grader's Halloween arts and crafts project." She turned her back to her again. Kat stared at her, appalled. She had rushed out of the house, but that was just mean. She looked at her hand and saw it still had some glitter on it. But when she raised the other, she saw that a sharp bone was poking out of her bloody forearm. The sight shocked her, but still no pain. She put her good hand up to her face and touched her nose, or what used to be her nose. Felt like a crushed snail. Pulpy, with hard bits mixed in. She sensed a presence behind her and turned to look, but her back did that weird thing again, as if it was no longer one long piece, and she swerved. Am I drunk? She didn't think so. Maybe mushrooms? Aha! That makes sense. Oh, this is a terrible trip. Maybe acid, then. She was still curious about the person standing behind her, and made a more careful attempt at turning around to see him. This time with more success. He gasped when he saw her face. "Whoa!" he recoiled. Well, that was pretty fucking harsh, she thought. He was 40-ish, with graying hair and a small paunch that went just a little past his belt. He looked like a normal dude, if you could get past the fact that half of his skull was missing. Pink and gray brain matter was visible under the cracked shell of his head. She turned back around, deciding that the wrinkled and deflated butt cheeks peeking through the old lady's hospital gown were better to look at. This was no mushroom trip. She was dead.